we're going to start with stormy clouds. I thought it would be fun to try to add more drama to our work. This paper is wide by 7 inches, so I went up a third from my horizon line here. And just talking through the stormy clouds, there'd be a wet and wet. I've tilted the paper 20 to 30%. I'm using the medium Hake brush, raw sienna, cobalt blue. I'll be using my cerulean blue chromium. And for your darks, an indigo, a shadow violet, or Prussian. And please remember to put out squeezes of fresh paint, probably about maybe a little larger than the size of a pencil eraser on your standard issue school pencil. 100% cotton paper, cold or rough, my water mister, and fully saturated Hake brush with water. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to wet the paper pretty much, saturate it. I'm going to come down to the horizon line. Try to not get any hits, runs, or errors there. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to start by loading my Hake brush fully loaded with water, and then I'm getting the tips into my raw sienna. And I'm going to kind of go on diagonal strokes, just some light, wispy lines. Quick clean out of the brush. I'm going to tap it slightly on both sides just to remove some of the water. And I'm going into the cerulean blue chromium. I'm going to try to keep my color from going all the way down to the horizon, just so we have a light tint in there. I don't want really dark coloration there. So if you go back in with your brush into your color, just use it at first up into the higher elements so that we can keep some of the lower area just a very faint color, if you will, if it runs down. Now I'm going to go into my indigo, and indigo tends to be really very dominant value, so I'm going to gingerly pull out some because it can get quite dark. So I'm going to start with some of my darks up in here, going into some of the cobalt areas. And then I can see I want a little more value of the indigo up here. I really want some drama, so you can do some soft C-shaped clouds like that. And you see I've left some open areas in the middle. That will be interesting when we do use the mister. So I'm gonna let that set, start running down some, look at it a little bit. I think I still need just a tad more a little more darkness with the indigo in areas so that you can get some nice transitions. I'm going to hold it up and see how it's flowing down. And you see I've left that is still pretty open there. There's not a lot of color or faint color coming in. My mister, I'm going to use, I usually use it on an angle, and I'm going to say about 4 inches away. There we go. Probably a little in here. And then while that's pretty wet, I can go in with a just slightly damp Hake brush if I want, and maybe close up a couple little areas if I so desire. Pull the color down a little bit, soften it. I'm going to go in just see if I can get some softening up in these areas a little bit. So since I put the color in there and a little over here, hit it with the mister, and then I'm going to go in with a clean towel, or better yet, just a dry brush. I'll pick that up. Okay, so here's your stormy clouds.